So far you already learned two separate methods to make your assembly file. First one is you have to go to the insert, then you have to insert your assembly. And second one is from this part in the existing top level assembly you can make another sub assembly. So in this lesson I will show you how to create another sub assembly that will be empty sub assembly. To create that assembly, first you have to insert that assembly. You have to go to this drop down menu under this insert components, and from here you can see there is a option called new assembly. When I activate this assembly, in the left side in the feature manager tree you can see this assembly new assembly file already listed here. But the problem is you can see there is a third bracket surrounded by this assembly name. This means this assembly is a virtual assembly. That means this assembly only exists inside this top level assembly. If you want to save this assembly, you can also save this assembly as a separate file. But if you don't save this assembly as a separate file, this assembly will work as a virtual assembly. And inside this virtual assembly, if you want, you can also add your part by dragging here. And inside this assembly I already one part here. If I want I can also add more than one. You can see there is two parts inside this virtual assembly. Even though this assembly is a virtual assembly, but this part is separate file. Now if I want to save this full top level assembly, when I press save and if I select save all, you can see I have two options. First one is save internally, second one is save externally. Save internally means if I want to save this assembly as a virtual assembly, then I will select the first option. But if I want this assembly to the separate file, then I will select the save externally. By these two ways, I can save the assembly. For this lesson, I will save this assembly as a virtual assembly. Then I will press OK. And when you will save this assembly as an external assembly, at that time, this third bracket will be removed.